Hello and welcome to Real Person Reviews. I'm Sam and I'm a real person. And today I want to talk to you about PowerWash Simulator 2 that I played on the Switch 2. And if you're wondering why I have the headset on, I'm doing this setup, and it's because I'm doing this a little bit differently since, well, I'm going to recommend that you would see my review of the first PowerWash Simulator before this, as it's pretty much same shit, different game, but I do think there are some things to talk about here, so I thought it may be easier to just kind of go into it and show you along the way. Um, and let's just kind of get it started here. Um, because it is essentially a similar kind of thing going on where you're just going around cleaning a bunch of stuff, and that's pretty much it. Clean objects, get money, buy upgrades to get, make cleaning easier and get more jobs and all that. This is my file I'm already on, so obviously it's going to be a little bit more completed here. But we'll go ahead and just start off where we have a little home base here. I guess as a first thing you'll notice is different, right? You have this home base area that you're around, and you can go in here and do different read articles about the jobs you did. You can go around and select different levels to play on once you unlock them here. A little interactive area. You can go and mess with your cats. That's the thing you can do. You also have this area down here that you can decorate with things because you get a currency that's not the same as your normal currency for buying upgrades and stuff. So you can I got a couple things over there. I can throw some stuff in this corner. And if you ever want to get something else, you just I can go to the shop here. And like I say, some of these cosmetic things they already had before. They're not new necessarily. I mean, some of the things are, I guess, but go to furniture, you can go buy a thing like, oh, I want to put something in my place here, and you're like, oh, this chair looks cool, right? Maybe I want this chair. Okay. You see how these P things are for this, so that's the currency for cosmetic things. And actually, I think I want, for example, this chair looks awesome, so I want that. And now I gotta go over here and go to my chair. I want that. Now it goes here, and then you have to clean it. So you can do this. You just spray it around and clean it. They also have these different hotkeys and things here. So if I want to switch out my stuff, I can do this to move around to this. And also I have different levels of these. So if I go to this, I have this one, or I have the higher level of it. I can just switch on the fly like that. And I still can hit hotkeys for these. I can get the extensions. I get the different ends on them. Yeah, you clean these off, and then once they're clean, you can go and place them in your place wherever you want them. So that's kind of interesting little tidbit. The only problem with this right here is that well, there's no point to any of this really, because it's not like you can interact with anything here. Really, it's just kind of here. So I guess if you want to take screenshots or hang out with friends or something in here for multiplayer, you could do that. But otherwise, there's not much point. Also, then the menu here. Whoa. You can just start doing stuff here. I was also going to quick show for some of the other things too for your equipment. You do get some other things here, like there's the surface washer here. I can probably show that quick. We just do this, and it cleans surfaces very, efficiently. So if it's a flat surface or something, you have that. It's like a new one. It's with different attachments. Like you have for this, I have this attachment that's I can just have more control over how wide or short this is on the fly without having to change my entire nozzle. That's kind of interesting. There's stuff like that. If we go into the jobs here, that'll be over this way. You do get these different packs. That's like a DLC. This is a DLC thing. I think actually this came with it. It's just extra levels. I haven't done those. I just did the main campaign, which is this. So I have all the levels unlocked. And I was going to show this for just for a bit of a showing you another new thing about this. And actually, before we start that, I will show some of these settings you have here. I noticed they have if I can find them here. Yeah, you can highlight the dirt stuff and the color. They kind of have these still that they already had before. But they also have new stuff here. If I can find it. Actually, I don't know where it went. Oh, task markers. That's what it is. You can do on. So I'll show that when we go to a level here. So we'll go and do this level in the facility. It's an early level, so I'm not spoiling too much for you. And what you're going to notice here is that they've added in a couple of elements here that they're interesting. If we go here and start cleaning this, you think, okay, well I can just clean this, and that's that seems pretty normal, right? Which it is. This part is pretty standard, and you're kind of used to seeing this, right? And they've added in an interesting element here. I am stalling for time a bit on this. I will say that some of the attachments and things you can get are a bit redundant. I will throw that out there quickly and say, like, for example, on this one, I have it on here. Like I have like the regular like little turbo nozzle, but I also have the double turbo nozzle thing here, or whatever, that has two of them. And they spin around. So why would I ever use the normal one? I don't know. We've also got, you probably saw it there. Oops. The soap thing. You can put soap on stuff, make it easier to clean. Now you just like soak it in soap and then like come back and spray over it later. So it just loosens up the dirt. So it you don't have to worry about putting out different types of cleaning solution or anything in there. It's just that. I'll just do this quick to show you. Oh yeah, see, it cleans surfaces. Hooray. Anyways, so I'm cleaning this, and it's about clean. That's done, right? Getting this done. Oh, clean all around here. And I guess I'll also quickly say that because there's, like, you can probably notice in my menu here, I only bought the highest level. I do like that you can actually sell some of your stuff as well. So like, you can buy like levels up here and then sell them at least. So if you like, oh, I can upgrade for a bit and then I invest in that and then I can sell it again to get other stuff. That's cool. See that little marker there? That's to be like, oh, what am I supposed to clean now? It's over here. It also has a little thing up in the corner of my to-do list over here because there's only so much left. And it like flashes, like this is flashing the outer rim thing. I got that done now. So they definitely have a lot of like interesting little things on by default for quality of life improvements, which I do really like. I think that's a good choice. And then check this out. Finish that. And then, whoa. And then there's more level. They have these moving parts. That is definitely a big part of this as well. Moving parts like this. Some levels have stuff you have to actually activate actively. Actually, like, opening doors and stuff on some levels have that, and so, like, I'm not a big fan of doing that stuff for, like, moving mechanisms, because then I have to worry about, like, the mechanism in different positions, and it's like, do I get the door when it's open, and then get the door when it's closed, to get every part of the door? I kind of avoid that kind of stuff, but, can I get a different job here? Yeah. But, you know, that is a neat idea. I also just kind of want to get a different one of these, and I think this might have it. There's a new piece of equipment. Actually, I think I know one of the levels that has what I'm looking for here. They have a couple new pieces of equipment you can get and mess around with. And, yeah, I think I want to do the rock climbing park. Because I think this has both. And, like, a new pieces of equipment to help it make it easier for you to clean stuff, along with that, surface washing thing. So one of those is this. What is this even called? I don't know. But we have this thing. You can place it up here, and then you go in here and like, oh, I can freely move up and down this wall and move around. So you kind of have this ability to clean things. That's kind of neat, right? And then the other piece of equipment, if I can find it from up here, yeah, is this, like, lift thing. That's a scissor lift, I guess. Yeah. Go up here. You can do that. You can bring it back down to make it easier to wash stuff. So you have a couple of new pieces of equipment to work with, and that's cool. And I do think there's some really cool levels. Like, it is cool. Like, look at this. Like, you get these different colors, very vibrant colors. There's very satisfying levels. As you go into later levels, there's also stuff that's just, you know, more complex to do as well. So that's cool. I think that, yeah, they definitely get more challenging with, like, um, more divided pieces. Like, there's multiple pieces of floor here. Like, that's a floor, that's a floor, that's a thing. And as you get into later levels, there's lots of little pieces. There's also a good mix of like big levels with like lots of stuff to do, and like small levels with like, there might be a lot of things in it, but like they do still kind of curve up in difficulty as you go along. So I think they do a good job of like kind of pacing and like increasing the difficulty as they go along, while it still is, fairly relaxing to mess around with. But yeah, I guess um, there's not a lot to really say other than like, what you see is what you get. You know what I mean? It's more Power Wash Simulator stuff. If you wanted more levels, there you go. You have them, and if it wasn't broke, so they didn't fix it. If you liked Power Wash Simulator, um, you will probably like Power Wash Simulator 2. Um, and if you didn't, this won't do anything to really change that. It's more of the same, and it's good. I mean, it's fun because I liked the first game, and I think that's ultimately what it really comes down to. That's why I just kind of did this more impromptu thing. Hopefully, this was vaguely okay. I know I'm a little scatterbrained when I'm trying to play and talk, but hopefully, this was at least you get the idea. It's more of that, and that's why I would recommend watching the other review if you want more details on some of that. But it's still good to just, once you get your settings set the way you want, um, you can just go in and play. And like, I might not have done any of the extra levels or the, cooperative stuff or anything, but you get in, you get your stuff set up how you want it, and you just kind of start playing, doing your OCD, zoning out, Zen cleaning stuff, and you just, I mean, I was liking it enough where the white noise was just playing this with nothing else going on. I kind of ended up falling asleep a few times, getting really tired, and I had to like stop and come back to levels later, which is totally fine to do. It's a pretty low stakes game, and it's, there's little bits of story here and there they do in the messages and stuff on the side, but I never read them because I'm like that. I was like, I just wanted to clean the things. So, um, yeah, let me know if this kind of review was any good, or if I should just stick to the normal focusing on just blabbing and then record the gameplay later. But I thought I would try it. And that's about it. So yeah, Power Wash Simulator 2 is about what you'd expect. I guess you could call it rinse and repeat.